And after about a 2-day wait for literally thousands of drivers, I-40 finally back open for you to get to work, to school, or wherever it is you're going this morning.
Oh yes, eastbound lanes from Albuquerque to the Texas state line were shut down since Sunday night. They finally reopened at 11 yesterday morning. Even though the roads were clear here, Texas officials asked New Mexico to keep the interstate closed because of the horrible conditions out there. All state agencies involved in the road closure plan to meet to see how to improve procedures in the future. And if you're going to see a lot of extra police out on the highway in southern and southeastern New Mexico today, so get ready.
Yeah, they're swarming the area. They're trying to cut down on the number of crashes, particularly the deadly ones. Last year, there were 181 serious crashes, all involving commercial cars and trucks in Lee, Eddy, and Chavez counties, and at least 8 people died in these crashes. So now, state transportation officers from all over are headed down there to crack down on people speeding, not wearing their seatbelts, and on trucks that shouldn't be on the streets.
Eddy and Lee County specifically, we have a hard time staffing here due to the oil field and the great opportunities, employment opportunities in this area for personnel. So it's hard to compete.
The extra patrols will be in the oil and gas country until Friday.
For the first time in a long time, it seems more people are interested in becoming a police officer in Albuquerque.
And the motivation here could simply be cold hard cash. Back in November, Albuquerque's mayor started offering cadets a $5,000 bonus if they go through the academy. Then just last month, 455 people applied to the academy. That's the most in the last 7 years.
I think it's a combination of the recruiting effort, using new recruiting technologies, and the cash incentives together have worked to drive up our numbers.
And those numbers are very important. Right now, APD needs to hire about 75 officers a year to keep up with the ones who are leaving. Now, last year, the department hired just 11 cadets, and the year before that, 7.
New allegations about a former APD officer charged in 2 prostitution cases. Undercover video from 2011 allegedly shows Officer Matt Kindle on the job trying to bribe a decoy posing as a prostitute. He is accused of being a key player in a prostitution ring. New paperwork allegedly shows how deep he was involved. Prosecutors claim Kindle provided private security to the Ice House strip club and the private ICE prostitution ring linked to it. They allege that he knew sex was being sold there. A judge ruled Kindle should be tried separately.
A former Albuquerque police officer convicted of a federal crime has a week of freedom left now. Yesterday, a judge ordered Brad Aaronsfield to turn himself in a week from today. Aaronsfield was sentenced to 6 months after he tipped off a friend about a federal drug investigation back in 2009. He's delayed starting his sentence several times and recently asked to delay it again because he says his girlfriend here is very sick with cancer. Yesterday, a judge ruled he does not have the power to even consider doing that. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office says the deputy who was hit by a driver this weekend is the same deputy who shot at him. The deputies are working a crash at Bridge in La Vegas Sunday night when they say this man, Damian Nicosia, drove through there and ran over Deputy Jesse Cash's foot. Deputies say Cash then fired 8 shots but did not hit anyone. The Sheriff's Office put Cash and 3 deputies who saw what happened on standard leave while the shooting is investigated. The other deputies are all back to work. Cash is still on leave this morning.
The driver who caused the crash that killed the Sandoval County fire chief last year will not face felony charges. 22-year-old Armando Saenz lost control on I-25 near Bernalillo, hit the center barrier and bounced back into Chief John Tibbetts' SUV, killing Tibbetts. It happened last summer. Police found spice and pot in Saenz' car, but ruled out vehicular homicide charges. State police can still pursue misdemeanor charges. One of the men accused of robbing a Walmart in Los Lunas on Christmas Day and making off with some dangerous guns is scheduled to be in court this morning. Emilio Larson is accused of stealing $30,000 worth of guns and electronics. His arraignment is scheduled for 10:30 this morning in Los Lunas.
The man charged with almost 60 counts of having and making child porn in Albuquerque is about to say, yep, he did it. Thomas Dolphus is set to plead guilty today after police say they caught him with all the porn last April. Dolphus got caught when his girlfriend says she found the porn on his computer. My father in Valencia County is now waiting to see how long he'll spend in prison after admitting he killed his wife in front of their kids. Brandon Casillas pled guilty yesterday to shooting his wife in their home in Meadow Lake in May of 2011. Casillas admits to holding a loaded gun to her head, but claims it accidentally went off when she pushed it away. He could spend 12 years in prison and should be sentenced within the next 4 to 6 weeks.
We now know the identity of the man shot to death in his home on Sierra Vista earlier this morning. 43-year-old Robert Kittner was with his female roommate when the two men kicked in the door and opened fire, killing Kittner. This actually happened earlier this week. Surveillance camera at the home captured video of one of the men. Investigators believe, along with murder, the two stole a safe box that belonged to the victim. APD says the incident could be drug-related.
And investigators now trying to find out more about what happened to a woman from Pecos who went missing and was found dead in the Bro Mesa area this month. The Santa Fe New Mexican is reporting that the body state police found is this young lady, Ginger Encinias. She was just 22 years old and went missing from her home on Valentine's Day. Encinias' dad says police found his daughter's car near her body.